What if I told you that you are about to get a 4-day work week without losing any benefits and with getting the exact same weekly pay? What if I told you that is on the table? Well, guess what? Because of a new proposal that was just announced today, it is now going to be looked at. There is a U.S. senator that's requesting the 4-day work week. So I'm going to address that. We'll talk about who this senator is, why this is actually a big deal, because it's not just workers, not just employers that are looking at this. Schools are also going to the 4-day work week as well. And that right there could be the move to push us forward. So we're going to address this in just a moment. All I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So when I tell you who is actually proposing the 4-day work week, it will be no surprise because he has proposed things like this in the past. Now, this person is Senator Bernie Sanders. He is pushing a bill forward to establish a 4-day work week because he wants to remove the 40 hours per week and go to 32 hours. And in the same time, he wants to protect your pay and your benefits. But he wants to do this over the next 4 years. Now, you're probably thinking, well, what is the motive behind this? How is this going to work? Well, here's the reason why. According to many studies, they say that if we cannot get a $15 per hour minimum wage, the next best option is to go from a 40 hour per work week down to 38. So getting rid of 1 day, but at the same time, you get the same weekly pay. That would be roughly the same equivalency of just getting $15 hour per day or per hour. So just keep that in mind, all right? And again, Senator Bernie Sanders is one of those that has been advocating for that $15 per hour minimum wage on the federal level. So this is one of the reasons why some say that's the purpose behind going this direction. Now, I want to explain a couple other things because some people are going to say a 4-day work week is not feasible. A 4-day work week doesn't work for employers. It doesn't work because of school. Here's the thing. Did you know that there's more than 1,600 schools around the United States and currently in 24 different states that are now running 4 days per week? They've got rid of the 5th day. They're going 4 days per week, but just a little bit longer. And it's only a couple extra hours. That's it. So it's a huge benefit. But I want to give you some stats here. As of 2024, February 2024, there were roughly 132 million workers here in the United States. 8.4 million of those workers, they work more than 2 jobs. 2 jobs or more in order to pay for, their rent and their car payment and their food and health insurance and things like that. By reducing from 5 days down to 4, this would give them the ability to go work another job if they wanted to. Also, only 5% of all the workers here in the United States work 4 days per week. Everyone else, 5 to 7 days. Now, here's some more stats I want to show you. 77% of workers want a 4-day work week. This is 77% around the board. This also includes 93% of Gen Zers. They want a 4-day work week. 91% of millennials support the 4-day work week. And 92% of women support the 4-day work week as well. So it's interesting. Now I also want to play you a clip. This is from today. This is Senator Bernie Sanders. He's actually proposing this bill today in the Senate. Just look at this.
Are going to be talking about an issue that is very rarely discussed in the halls of Congress or the Senate, and that is the need to reduce the standard work week in the United States. In fact, the last time, as we understand it, the Senate held a hearing on this subject was in the year 1955. So I think...
Just to give you an idea, Senator Bernie Sanders, I believe, was born in 1941. So in 1955, he would have been 14 years old. He'd probably been working at that time.
Maybe the time is now to renew that discussion. Despite massive growth in technology and worker productivity, millions of workers in our country are working longer hours for lower wages. As a result of the extraordinary technological transformations that we have seen in recent years, American workers are now over 400% more productive than they were in the 1940s.
I want to explain something really quick and give you an actual example here, but he talks about how we're more productive now than we were years ago. We also are working more hours, but we're getting paid less money. In the end, a business owner is only going to care that you do your job. They do your job, they do what they're paying you for. Let me give you an example here. I have a friend that he works at a Red Robin. Well, this Red Robin has this little machine, this little robot that you put a bunch of plates on it, and it goes and wheels it out to the different tables. And then the server will take the plates, put them on the table. Here's the thing. His job for the majority of the week, because he works Monday through Friday, he only works Monday night or Tuesday through Friday, 4 days. Okay. The only reason why he's even there on Tuesday is he sits in the back and he puts the plates on the little robot for the robot to go out. Really, he doesn't need to be there, but because he's trying to get his hours, he actually works 2 different jobs. Because he's trying to get his hours, he shows up. But in the end, the cook or somebody else could put the plate on the little robot and the robot can wheel it out. But because that's just what he was asked to do, and he's trying to fulfill his 32 hours, that's the only reason why he's there. But keep that in mind, this is happening all over the country. But let's keep listening.
While CEOs today are making 350 times as much as their average employees, workers throughout the country are seeing their family life fall apart as they are forced to spend more and more time at work. At a moment in history when artificial intelligence and robotics, and I hope we all understand that the jobs that people have today ain't going to be there in many cases in 15 years.
I want to jump in again right there. Talking about my friend who just takes the tray or takes the plates and puts them on a little robot. Do you think that job's going to be there in 15 years? Probably not. I was talking to somebody the other day, and there's these machines that you put this little machine on your head and it will cut your hair. Interesting. There's my landscaper, the person that mows the lawn. This job might not be there if we continue to see these little robots going and cutting the lawn. The pool cleaner, for example, have a little robot that I toss in the pool. It goes and cleans the pool. It can do it between 1 to 4 times a day. It can run for a few minutes. It can run for a couple hours every single time. And all I do is I'll pull it out of the pool once a day or every few days, and I'll clean out the little basket, and that's it. But guess what? I don't need a pool boy to go clean my pool. I just don't need it. So these jobs that are there today may not be here in the future. Just keep that in mind. And with that said, and we've talked about this before, there's a lot of people that are pushing for UBI, Universal Basic Income. This is income people are going to need because their jobs, some of this stuff is going to be taken away by artificial intelligence. We're already seeing it. It's just a matter of time. Case in point, just go down to your local grocery store. How many aisles have an actual cashier there versus how many are self-checkout? That's really run by one person, and it could be 4 different stations, it could be 6, it could be 20, and there's only one person manning all those stations. That's the way we're going, and that's why some are saying a 4-day work week is exactly what we need. Let's keep listening.
Our economy is going to be transformed through artificial intelligence and robotics. The question that we are asking today is a pretty simple question. Do we continue the trend that technology only benefits the people on top, or do we demand that these transformational changes benefit working people? And one of the benefits must be a lower work week.
So we're going to see if that's something that Congress is willing to look into. As of right now, there's a lot of companies that really like this idea. Many companies say the 4-hour work week is exactly what they needed because it actually gives the worker a little more incentive to do their job in less time. But they're getting the same pay. So now companies can shut the lights off. they don't have to have all this stuff going on Friday or potentially Monday. And I say potentially Monday because if you go to, let's say, a real estate company, there's a good chance they're working Friday, Saturday, Sunday, not Monday. But if you go to other companies, maybe Monday's the best day to take off, not Friday. For example, a bank. I've heard some bankers say that they don't even work Mondays because most people don't go in on Mondays. They come in on Friday. So they go in Friday and potentially, half day Saturday, but Monday's not an option. So we'll see. But I want to play another clip for you. In this clip, this is from Fox Business. Now, this is a Fox Business correspondent, Hillary, I think Vaughn. She's asking Bernie Sanders a question. Well, in this question, he pretty much snaps at her and tells her that he can yell louder than she can. But listen to this, okay? Because she's asking a very important question. I'll try to turn up the volume as well because he doesn't really speak into the microphone. But just listen to this.
Can I talk to you about the 32-hour work week? It seems like Fox Business. It seems like Democrats want businesses to be taxed more, pay their workers.
Really? Is that what you think?
pay their workers.
Excuse me.
I didn't get to ask a question.
Okay, thank you.
Senator,
You want to hold it? Okay. We held a hearing on a 32-hour work week because what we have seen is that over the last 50 years, despite a huge increase in worker productivity, almost all of the wealth has gone to the top 1%, while 60% of the people are living paycheck to paycheck. Many of our people are exhausted. We work the longest hours of any people in the industrialized world. I think it's time for a shortened work week.
could I ask you a question about that? It seems like Democrats want businesses to be taxed more,
Really? No, that's not my
pay
assumption.
their
I
workers
don't think
more,
so.
lower prices,
You
and
know
now
what,
pay people
Democrats-
not to work.
You know what I would like to see? I could
How
yell
are
as loud
businesses
as
going to
you.
survive that? That's the
Well,
question.
I-
How can businesses
well,
survive
I
all
think
of those
that
proposals?
When Mr. Bezos pays an effective tax rate lower than the average worker, I think we have a real problem in our tax system. I think that billionaires have got to start paying their fair share of taxes.
So there we go.
Barbara switched
So
to
he
TurboTax.
says he thinks billionaires should start paying their fair share in taxes. But here's the thing. The question that she asked was, how are we supposed to tax businesses? Tax them more money. But at the same time, they have to pay their employees the same rate, give them the same benefits, but they're working 8 less hours per week. How's that possible? Well, it is possible. However, not to all businesses. That's the big difference. All businesses should not be pretty much be created equally. They're not created equally. So how can they be run the exact same way? They can't. So yes, we may change to a 4-day work week, but it doesn't mean every single business out there is going to abide by this because they just can't. Okay? So keep in mind, there's still a lot of talk about this 4-day work week. This isn't anything new. This is something that we have been hearing about for years, especially over the past 4 years during the whole pandemic. Many people were pushing for just the 4-day work week. They were pushing for that in schools as well because that gave children one less day to potentially get infected. So there's a lot of positives here, but I want to know your thoughts. Do you think the 4-day work week is something that you would actually enjoy? Is this something that you are hoping your business actually does? Or do you think there's no way a 4-day work week would work in your current industry? Let me know down in the comment section below. I'm just curious where you stand on this. But as of right now, there's a lot of people discussing this because of artificial intelligence. But that's where we're at this time. Again, as soon as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all the latest news and updates. But that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.